UFC Perth, JDM Prates has just gone down, and yes, I'm glad I'm in the UK and I can make this video not half asleep. However, I would be fucking rather half asleep than watching JDM get absolutely destroyed by Prates for 3.5 rounds. However, the card was okay. The main event was interesting. Selku got a good win. Elliot Usyk was a good scrap. The rest of the card was pretty mid. A couple of heavyweight blob interesting fights there. Tuivasa and Gaziev. Prelims was a bit mid. I'm not going to lie, the prelims are very mid. Bar Tafa versus Christian. But I'm going to go through every fight on the card. Yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with the main event, JDM Prates. I've already made a little recap of that on the channel. If you want to check that out, be my guest. It's on the channel. But this fight was very depressing, and JDM absolutely annihilated by Prates. Round one was pretty competitive. JDM got that takedown at the end of the round. I was happy. I was like, oh, maybe JDM. We're going to do that every other round. Get Prates down, get an easy win, a submission. No. Prates kept spamming that low kick, that body kick, that knee up the middle. He's just 10 times more powerful than JDM. Has much more. He imposed his will on the feet. Knocked him down 3 times, absolutely annihilated him. In that third round, it was pathetic. He was styling on JDM, emoting on him, talking to him, taunting him, trying to get a highlight reel KO. He could have finished him probably at the beginning of the round, but wanted that highlight reel KO. Got it in the end. Mike Bell trying to think it's the ref. What were you waiting for, mate? JDM was on the ground, moaning, screaming. I'm not mocking him, but whilst Price was spamming elbows, he was just standing there. Yeah, sad to see for JDM. I don't think he ever gets near the top of the division again. And I think he's going to go on a Leon Edwards arc. Just decline. I don't want to see it, but I don't think he's going to be successful at the top of this division anymore. But very good win from Prates. Maybe he gets a title fight, but I think they're going to give it to Gary. Maybe do him versus Morales, as Usman's apparently not going to fight Morales. Do Prates, Morales. Winner fights the winner of Machado, Gary, and Makachev. JDM takes some time off, gives the guy a shit ton of damage. Fair play, Warrior stayed in there. Many other guys would have crumbled, but did very well to survive, but didn't do well in the fight. Got absolutely destroyed in every aspect of the sport. All the takedowns got defended, got outstruck, and had nothing for Prates on the feet. Too easy for Prates. I picked JDM, so call me a casual all you want, but I thought we'd be able to close the distance and replicate that first round. But as people said, the low kicks would be too much, the power would be too much. JDM, you know, I'm not saying he was scared, but he saw that knee up the middle, then 1-2s popping every fucking time he got near Prates, and that probably slowed down the pace of JDM. Prates just destroyed him in that third round, sat him down with the low kicks, down to some ground and pound, and that was all she wrote. Very disappointed to see JDM losing his hometown. Yeah, that shut in the word of Tony Soprano. On to the co-main event, Benil Dariush vs Quillan Salkfield, and I was very worried from that first 30 seconds. I don't know how not scored a knockdown from Benil Dariush. Landed a nice straight left down the middle, I'm pretty sure it was. Just dropped Salkfield. It was a flush knockdown. Probably caught him off guard. That's probably why he did it. But Salkfield recovered, held Dariush up against the cage for a bit. Then they disengaged, and Benil Dariush fought like a retard, thought he had a chin, went into a wild swing exchange, and Quillan Selke just sniped him with a right hand down the middle, sat him down, landed some ground and pound, and that was it. A very quick performance from Selke. A bit worried at the start as Dariush got him down and knocked him down, held him up against the cage for a bit, but Selke reversed it, held Dariush up against the cage, disengaged, showed his power, or is it just been Dariush has no chin? Either way, Salkfield got the round one KO, easy work. He's now in the rankings, a real decent prospect on our hands. And I'd like to see him fight. Mateus Gamrot, he called Gamrot out. That's a good fight. Gamrot probably doesn't deserve a fight high up in the division. He's lost a lot of them. Fought outside the rankings. Now give him Salkfield, a decent prospect, but he's in the rankings. Salkfield deserves a slight push up. Another grappler. Dariush nearly got him down a couple of times. So that's a real test for Salkfield's grappling. I would favour Salkfield in that. I think the striking's better. But yeah, that'd be a good fight. And for Dariush, probably retire, solid grappler, but you can't take punches anymore. So how are you going to ever be successful in MMA if you can't take punches? But what a good career. Just can't take it in the top guys anymore. Salkfield looks to be a promising guy, but it was a bit of a layup, and he didn't exactly go out there and ace it. I know he got the round one KO, but then first minute and a half was a bit dodgy. But did the job, got the round one KO, just put a straight right on Dariush's chin, sat him down, got the ground and pound. Good performance from Salkfield. Give him Gamrot, and Dariush probably need to retire, buddy. On to the feature fight. Tim Elliott versus Steve Usyk. This was actually a pretty good scrap, Tim Elliott may have won the first round. I know Bisping and all the commentary thought he did, but I thought Usyk won all 3 rounds. Elliott just a bit goofy on the feet. He's got a weird stance, kind of like a B-Tech. What's his fucking name? Dominic Cruz. Just awkward on the feet, but he doesn't possess the power. He's not like an O'Malley where you can get away with that and then pop a fucking shot and rock Usyk badly. He wasn't able to do that. Usyk was just being patient, staying at range, looking to counter. Elliott got a decent takedown at the end of the round, but I didn't think that was enough for him to win the round. He's a solid grappler, but his striking's not that good, let's be honest. Awkward stance, hard to track down, solid grappler, but Usyk just got the better of him. Elliott gassed out as the fight went on. You know, you're 38 with a very weird, unique footwork style, and you're going to gas out eventually. Usyk, crisp striking, solid grappling defense, even got a takedown of his own. I was very impressed with Steve Usyk, you know. Got a dominant win back in the win column. It's a dodgy fight, Tim Elliott. He's a solid grappler, but if you're a solid striker, you should be able to outstrike him on the feet and get your way to a decision. If that was a 5 round, Usyk probably gets a TKO later on, but did very well early. You know, just popping it straight down the middle. Elliott has a weird stance with his hands down low. I like the head kick adjustment from Usyk. Very smart. Punish Elliott for having his hands low. And did the job, you know. Usyk's Usyk. I don't think he ever beats no one in that top 5 of the division, but he's a solid guy for sure around that top 10 to 5 mark. Just if you beat Usyk, you're elite. Let's just say that, unless you're Brandon Moreno. But that was Usyk solid, you know, solid everywhere, decent grappler. Not as powerful. Yes, he's got a curve and match Snell, but that's match Snell, you know. Put Usyk in there against a Kavanagh or a Royval, he probably struggles. But very well rounded, good win in his hometown. Tim Elliott isn't that good on the feet. Gave him a couple of problems with the takedowns, but Usyk's just a better striker and defensively sound. That's why I picked him. Good performance from Steve Usyk, getting back in the win column. But Elliott, you know, he's solid, well rounded, 22 and 14, solid gatekeeper, but the striking is not there. Solid grappler. Good performance from Steve Usyk. But Usyk, I'd like to see him take on, I don't fucking know, Albazi. Have they fought? I don't think they've fought. And for Tim Elliott, I think he needs to fight a prospect. You know, you got a fluke win over Asakura. Asakura can't grapple. Maybe, I don't know, an Alden Correa, someone like that, on the verge of the rankings. Maybe you give him. No, that's Alden Correa. Fuck it, some random guy in the ranking, outside the rankings. Good performance though from Steve Usyk. Next fight on the main card was Marwan Rahiki. You know, that guy that Harry Hardwick destroyed, versus Ollie Schmid. And look at his fucking record. The man's 4-3. Very short notice. Why did they put Rahiki? Yes, he wanted to fight in Perth, but why not just fucking put him on another card and with a decent opponent? Obviously, he was going to destroy Ollie Schmid. I don't know who the fuck Ollie Schmid is. You don't know who the Ollie Schmid is. My nan doesn't know who Ollie Schmid is. Easy work for Rahiki. He's a solid striker, very powerful, and he's going to beat a lot of these featherweights. He's a real prospect, I think. Ollie Schmid's bottom of the barrel. He's going to take a solid guy. He's a bit defensively suspect, but a guy like Ollie Schmid, Harry Hardwick probably aren't going to expose that, sadly. But he looks a real prospect, and they light work over and just backed him up. That was a nasty left hook. Sat him down, landed some ground and pound, and that was it. Very easy win for Rahiki, as expected. A huge favourite. Short notice for Ollie Schmid. Easy work. Give Rahiki someone decent. Maybe we put the Jack Jenkins fight. We'll give him some European guy and put him on that Belgrade card. We'll get him on just give him anyone half decent, please. And for Ollie Schmid, don't re-sign him. He's 4-3. Make him earn his way back if he's any decent. Next fight was Shamil the Blob Gaziev versus Brando Perecic. As expected, Brando Perecic got the KO win over Shamil Gaziev. However, I didn't like that from Brando Perecic. He's shown to me that any decent heavyweight, that's not Louis Hovland, that's not Eliasson, some random guy beating his debut, Shamil Gaziev, any decent heavyweight with an ounce of movement, an ounce of athleticism, an ounce of power, would beat him. You know, Brandon Perecic, very, very good power, very good going forwards, landing the strikes. But as soon as you don't crumble in that first 5 seconds and you throw something back at him and survive a bit, have a bit of defense and movement, he's in trouble. You know, Gaziev was landing a hell of a lot of strikes, 41 significant strikes, got the takedown on him, got him up against the cage a lot. That's the grappling is a weakness of Brandon Perecic. Of course it is. He's a striker from CKB, then I don't exactly specialise in grapplers. But good win, good power. He's a very high output fighter, very powerful going forwards, but defensively he's a bit suspect. And I think a solid guy in the division in that top 5, top 10 could give him some problems, but very powerful going forwards. The fight was a very, very entertaining fight, not like the other heavyweight fight, which we'll get to in a minute. Gaziev can't strike, has no cardio, is just a fat blob. You know, people like to joke about Gaziev, but it's true, he's shit. I don't know how he was ranked. He beats these cans. Anyone decent and gets smoked by. Waldo does it. Fair play to him. He's got a solid chin. How powerful is Waldo for doing that easy? But yeah, he's not got a future in the top heavyweight division. Brando Perecic does. He needs to improve on his defensive aspect. You know, when he throws, he's wild, just leaves his chin wide in the open. Fun to watch, but for him personally, that's not good at all. For him, I'd like to see him take on, who did he call out? I don't know. He didn't call out anyone. He just said any of these cats can get it. Blah. That was DDP voice. Anyway, I'd like to see him take on a Mick Parkin, maybe someone like that. Maybe not. Mick Parkin probably get smoked, but someone like that in that top 12 to 15 mark. He's not ready for a top 5 guy, top 10 guy yet. Won't push him that hard. He's going to get smoked. For Gaziev, fight someone unranked. He probably shouldn't be ranked after that. Maybe Louis Sutherland. I don't know. Pranda Perecic, very powerful going forwards, but Gaziev held him up against the cage a lot. Landed a lot of strikes. Gaziev's got a solid chin, though. Perecic can fight. Going forwards, we're going backwards, he's suspect. Good performance, though. Got the win. Bit dodgy defensively, though. Next fight opening the main card, we had Bam Bam Tuivasa versus the Vanilla Gorilla, Louis fucking Sutherland. And I told you all Louis Sutherland was going to smoke Tuivasa and make it easy. I didn't think it would go 3 rounds. I thought it would be over pretty quick. But as expected, Tuivasa can't defend a takedown. Louis Sutherland has some element of grappling. Louis Sutherland's no fucking Aspinall. He's not a top heavyweight, but he's solid. You know, he can grapple decent on the feet, has a chin, has some power, has a bit of movement. Though he's a fat blob, but he can move. All fair play to the Vanilla Gorilla, Louis Sutherland. Big respect, very good performance on short notice. But you know, Tai Tuivasa can't defend a takedown, and you're never going to win a fight in MMA if you can't defend a takedown. The guy you're fighting is just going to fucking put a wrestling pace on you and take you down and dominate you. Yes, it was a bit boring. 21 significant strikes. You know, it was a bit Marab Chimaev-esque from Sutherland, but he had to do it. You know, Tuivasa was good on the feet. He could knock nearly anyone out. Tuivasa loses these fights by being taken down. He's a wild guy, scraps on the feet. Louis Sutherland used fight IQ, 8 days notice. Fought, you know, Tuivasa can't grapple. I'll take him down. Easy work. Tuivasa threatening guillotine. You're never going to get a guillotine, bro. You don't know how to grapple. Sutherland easily got out of all of them. Laid on him inside control, half guard. Just did the bare minimum to get the referee off of him, and saw it out from there. You know, actually in the first round, the striking exchanges, Sutherland got the better of. You know, nasty spinning back fist, nasty knee in the clinch. Tuivasa hurt him with the elbow. You know, like the Derek Lewis finish. But you know, us British heavyweights have incredible chins. You know, we own the heavyweight division. The UK owns the heavyweight division. An incredible performance from Louis Sutherland, shutting out a decent, dangerous rank striker somehow. I know he's on a 6-fight losing streak, 7 now. Tuivasa. It's a good win for Sutherland on short notice, and he saved his UFC career. Let's be honest, if he got slimed out in that first round, he'd have been cut. Good win from Sutherland. He called out Tybura. You know what? Fuck it. Give him Tybura. Tybura's 40 years of age, on a losing streak. Put it on that Belgrade card. Both guys from Europe. Give Sutherland. You know, he did you a favour, UFC. Yes, you may not have wanted him to win, but he did you a favour. Reward him. Give him a fight on that Belgrade card versus Tybura. Good performance from Louis Sutherland. Maybe cut Tuivasa or just rebook the Sharaf fight. I would probably cut him though if you're going to keep him. He's got to fight a can and then probably retire with a win. But very good performance from Louis Sutherland on 8 days' notice. What can you say? Tuivasa can't grapple. Headline in the prelims, we had Cam Ralston versus Robert Brychek. I was very impressed with Cam Ralston's performance here. I didn't expect him to do this. I thought it'd be a scrappy fight on the feet. Cam Ralston would barely get the advantage and getting the nod. Split decision 29-28, but he proved me wrong. Outstruck Robert Brychek. Robert Brychek gave him some problems in that first round though. Nasty body shot made Cam Ralston shoot immediately. Brychek landed some nasty combos, but Cam Ralston adapted, kept his range, popping the jab, popping the straight, low kicks, using his range. He's a massive middleweight, and mixed in the rest of them. Robert Brychek is very mid. No offense to you, Robert Brychek. You're not going to watch this. You're not here. No one watches this. But good grappling display from Cam Ralston, showing he's evolved. You know, in that Brundage fight, I was a bit dodgy. You know, Cody Brundage made it look good against him, but mixing the grappling very well. Good ground and pound, keeping him down. Actively looking for the finish. Chimaev, you can take notes. You know, when we, as Sean Strickland, destroy you, actively looking for the finish. Very good performance. Outstruck him, got the takedowns, saw out the rounds. Robert Brychek didn't really land much. Ralston just stayed at range. Very quick in and out, landing the strikes, in and out, then shot the takedown when Brychek threw. Very good grappling performance from Cam Ralston. Very impressed. And he's got a big future in this division. He called out Marvin Vettori. I would like to see that fight. You know, the CKB rivalry with Vettori. Adesanya's got that history with him. Vettori's on the decline. Ralston's on the rise. It's your typical fight. Although I would like to see Ralston not fight in Australia. I don't like fighters that do that. They just only fight in their home country. There's a lot of UK guys do that as well, like Nathaniel Wood. But not to be fair, he went to Abu Dhabi. I don't like fighters that fight in their own country. Just fight, you know. Because if you're going to do that, you're going to fight maximum of twice a year, unless you're American. But good performance from Cam Ralston. Robert Brychek's okay, but mixing the grappling showed an improvement in his game, which I didn't think he had. Very impressive from Cam Ralston. Good performance. Next fight we had Junior Tafa versus Kevin Christian, and this was exactly as you expected. Kevin Christian spammed the low kicks. He's 6'7", very funny. Big guy for the division, kept his range, popped the low kicks, hurt Junior Taffa. We've seen that time and time again. Junior Taffa gets tagged up with the low kicks. He's a boxer, leaves a lot of weight on his legs, doesn't really check the kicks very well. But it was looking dodgy for Taffa until he realised, shit, I'm fucked. If this goes round 2, round 3, I'm cooked. I'm gonna lose. Put the pace on Christian, backed him up, landed some nice overhands. Bisping cursed Kevin Christian. Bisping went, "Oh, it's looking good, Christian." That's a shit accent, but then Taffa just nuked him with I think it was an elbow that sat him down. No, a right over the top, then some elbows, saw a nasty ground and pound. I don't know what the ref was waiting for. Christian was out, but I'm not gonna get high on the Junior Taffa hype train. He beats these cans in the light heavyweight division. He doesn't beat anyone decent. Kevin Christian probably would have beaten him if he was a bit more defensively sound. Had him hurt with the low kicks. 0 for 2 on the takedowns. He had the right idea. He just not good enough to execute it. So Junior Taffa probably gets smoked by anyone decent, like a Billy Alakana. That is literally the Billy Alakana fight, except Kevin Christian can't grapple or is not defensively sound. If you're fighting Junior Taffa, if you're defensively sound, pop the low kick, shoot the takedowns, and you can do that, you're going to beat him. But if you stand there, trade, you're going to probably lose 9 times out of 10, unless you're wild like an Iwo Baraneski, someone like that in the division. But a very good performance from Junior Taffa. For him, I don't know who you give him. You don't want to push him too fast because he's going to lose again. Maybe if you want to push him, and Umar Sy coming off a loss, that's a big fight, or someone lower down, like who could I think? Brenderson Ribeiro, the guy that just lost to Abdul Rahman Yakayev, someone like that. And for Kevin Christian, give him some guy in the Dana White Contender Series or something like that. Who the fuck knows? I don't really care. 0-2 losing to Taffa and Ilakhan in the first round. Maybe even cut him, but he's a big guy. If I was him, I'd bulk up and move to heavyweight. He's 6'7", but good performance from Junior Taffa. But nothing's really changed in my perspective. If he gets you out of there, if he can't get you out of there in the first, you're probably going to lose. The grappling still looks dodgy. Kevin Christian's not a good grappler, but the low kicks are dangerous for Taffa. He's always going to get hurt by him, but he's a very good striker and got the first round KO. Next up, we had Jacob Malkoun versus Gerald Meerschaert. And Jacob Malkoun, hang your head in shame. Yes, you won. Yes, arguably you didn't fucking win. I thought Gerald Meerschaert actually had a very good case to win rounds 1 and 3. He had a mounted guillotine locked in at the end of the third round. A lot of control time in that round. Why has he not won that round? Malkoun did barely anything on the feet. I was glazing Malkoun in my predictions. He's going to go out there. He's going to get that first round KO. He's got a solid resume. He's only losing to good guys. Gerald Meerschaert's 40-40, 37-22, no chin. But Jacob Malkoun, you know what he decided to do? He's like, no, I'll just throw jabs at range. I'll shoot a takedown in the first round of Gerald Meerschaert. His only chance of beating me is grappling. That's very fucking smart. What are you doing, Malkoun? Stay at range. Fucking high output. Gerald Meerschaert barely threw a strike. He's only threatened a takedown and a submission. Why are you not throwing? Awful performance from Malkoun. Got the win, but as expected, Gerald Meerschaert shit. Gerald Meerschaert should get cut or retire. 40 years of age, can't strike. Okay grappler, but Malkoun did enough on the feet to get the win. Very boring. I had a bit of hype and favouritism for Jacob Malkoun. I've completely lost it all now. Fuck Jacob Malkoun now. Good performance from Meerschaert grappling wise, but on the feet, shit. If he's not going to take your back or get that guillotine locked in, he's not going to win. Both guys very disappointing, very low output fight. You nearly got outstruck by Gerald Meerschaert. 53-54, 32-36. That is a terrorist performance. What are you doing? Low fight IQ. These coaches, I'm pretty sure his coaches are telling him to take him down. Get rid of your coaches. How does this guy train with Robert Whittaker and fight like that? Awful performance from Jacob Malkoun. Got the win. Very low output. Why you shoot takedowns on Gerald Meerschaert? Colby Thickness versus Vince Morales, and another robbery on this card. I thought Vince Morales won rounds 2 and 3. Yes, you're going to call me biased because I picked Vince Morales, but you cannot tell me he did not. Hold on. Colby Thickness clearly won rounds 1. A nasty submission, nearly got Vince Morales out of there as expected. Vince Morales is a good grappler for elite comp, as mentioned in the predictions video. He got out of that, survived it. Let's be honest, Colby Thickness, as I said, he can't strike. He's got nothing on the feet for you. Vince Morales dropped him badly in round 3. Clearly won round 3, ended the fight on top, as he does in all these fights. However, the split round is round 2. I lent it towards Vince Morales. Not much output at all from Colby Thickness. Look at the takedowns attempts. Vince Morales was defending all the takedowns. For some reason, Vince Morales, just like Jacob Malkoun, thought, you know what, I'm fighting a grappler that can't strike. You know what I'll do? I'll just shoot takedowns because that's a fucking smart thing to do. Why are you shooting takedowns on Colby Thickness in that first round? He put himself in that fucking problem. Stay on the feet, stay at range, pop the strikes, 1-2, 1-2, low kick. Colby Thickness is shit. You dropped him at the end of the third, and you would have won the fight. But you decided to go to the ground with him. Very disappointing. I picked Vince Morales. I thought he won, even when he's fighting like a retard. He nearly won. I don't rate Colby Thickness at all. I'm not gonna lie. Like the second he fights anyone half decent. No, Vince Morales is okay. He's not great, but anytime he fights a solid striker that can defend some solid takedown defense, like Alexander Poirier smokes him. Already did. Guys like that in the division are gonna absolutely destroy him. Not being salty because I picked Vince Morales. I just thought he won. Colby Thickness hasn't proved me anything wrong. He's a solid grappler, but he can't strike. And Vince Morales, if he wasn't old and washed and on a massive loser streak, would have won that fight. But you're going to get your Aussie bias. Round two was very close. I can understand the Thickness, but I thought Vince Morales won. Dropped him bad. There wasn't much on the feet from Thickness. But yeah, decent performance from Thickness. Did the job, but as expected, nothing has changed. He's mid. Ben Johnston versus Wes Schultz. What a fight. So much striking output. Wes Schultz is complete shit, but somehow Ben Johnston is worse. How I'm going to tell my kids this was Brian Ortega versus Volk, What the fuck am I watching? Wes Schultz, not 1 ounce of athleticism in that body, nor Ben Johnston on the feet. However, somehow, but I'm pretty sure Wes Schultz dropped him in the second round. He's that retarded, he didn't even know. Just sat there on top, just going, just laying there. Ben Johnston kept pulling guillotines on Wes Schultz. Both guys are solid grapplers. As expected, it was a pretty decent grappling transition fight. Wes Schultz kept pulling guard. Why are we pulling guard? Every single round, Wes Schultz, Ben Johnston's hurting bad in the clinch. Gets a takedown, gets it back up to the feet. Wes Schultz, you know what, mate? I'll just throw myself onto you. What are you doing? But somehow Ben Johnston's even worse. Wes Schultz got the nasty guillotine in the third round. Very disappointed from Ben Johnston. I flipped a coin and it landed on Wes Schultz, and it was a 50-50 fight. Both guys are solid grapplers. No ounce of striking. Wes Schultz got a fluke knockdown. There's not much else to say. Both guys were shooting takedowns. Wes Schultz was pulling guard. Both guys kept spamming submissions. Wes Schultz locked up a guillotine and got the win. Very boring. Cut them both. Wes Schultz is utter dog shit. The second he fights someone that can strike he's going to lose. Complete dog shit. Jonathan Mikhaev versus Temba Garimbo. As expected, Mikhaev won. However, he did not do it in impressive fashion. Temba Garimbo. People were saying before this fight, I said it as well, Orban Elliott had Mikhaev in some serious trouble on the feet before he got the submission. And Garimbo is arguably a better grappler than Orban Elliott. Yes, he's lost to Vicente Luque and Jeremiah Wells. But Garimbo's well-rounded. Put a pace on Mikhaev early, as you need to do against Mikhaev. You need to back him up, land some strikes. He had success in them first 2 rounds. However, Mikhaev mixed up the takedowns, got him down, got some transitions, had some ground time, and got the boring split decision win. Not impressive at all. Mikhaev, I'm not impressed with Mikhaev. I think he's pretty average. Garimbo's solid, but 0-3 in his last 3. Both these guys are pretty mid, I'm not going to lie. Mikhaev, is he going to beat anyone solid in this division? Maybe. He's got decent grappling, but the striking's a big red flag. If you're getting backed up and rocked by Temba Garimbo, what is a solid welterweight going to do to you? But he got the win, did the job, nothing impressive. Split decision, could have gone Garimbo, but Mikhaev did the better stuff on the ground. Higher output as the fight went on, but not impressive at all from Jonathan Mikhaev. This is a fight where, if you're elite, solid guy as you're propped up to be, you're going to go out there, you're going to take Garimbo down, you're going to lock up the sub like a Luque did. But he got the job done. I'm not impressed. Garimbo, as we expected, is going to lose because he's complete shit as well. But he got the job done. Good win from Mikhaev. Not a good win. No, it's not a good win. A win from Mikhaev. 10-1, 3-0 in UFC. He's probably on to bigger and better things. But, let's not get too hard on Jonathan Mikhaev hype train. First fight of the night, Don Marfan versus Cody Steele. And, wow. As expected, a back and forth fight. Both guys are solid on the ground. Both guys are solid on the feet. However, Cody Steele took it to the ground and got a leg lock, a knee bar. Only Volta Walker seems to be able to get them, but Cody Steele's got one. Solid grappler. I picked Don Marfan, but it's a complete 50-50 fight, Cody Steele just got the submission early. Don Marfan didn't really do much. Look at the strikes. One significant strike. Cody Steele was backing him up bad, got the takedown, and got the knee bar. Very good win from Cody Steele. 8-1. Lost his debut, but he seems to be a decent prospect in this lightweight division. I don't think he goes too far. I just think he gets hit too much against someone decent. Obviously, didn't get hit much against Don Marfan, but a good win. Showed good grappling skills. Probably kept his contract. If you're 0-2, you're on the verge of being cut. Good performance though. Don Marfan disappointing, tapping that quick. I know it's a nasty submission, but could have transitioned out of it. You meant to be an elite grappler, but Cody still got the win. Don Marfan gets his first L in the UFC in the hometown. Disappointing to see. The fight was pretty quick. Nice to see a rare submission from Cody Steele. I know he's a solid grappler, so is Don my fan, but Cody Steele showed he's a better grappler. Yeah, this card, it was alright. Started off very mid. A lot of these Aussies are a bit overrated. You know, I expected better things out of Jonathan Mikalev, Colby Thick. No, I didn't. Jacob Malkoon especially. Taffer, I expected him to do that. Ralston, I was surprised by. I did think he'd win. Didn't think he'd do it that well. JDM Prize, you know, as we know, yeah, Prize just fucked him up bad. Sal Kilda, I did expect him to win, but I didn't expect him to get dropped. I thought he'd get taken down a bit. I didn't think he'd get dropped. Ursig Elliott went exactly as I thought. Elliott would gas out. Ursig would just outstrike him. Rahiki was Schmid exactly as I thought. Rahiki just, you know, levels above powerful Schmid shit. Gaziev Prechik went not as expected. You know, Gaziev had some success, but Prechik got the KO win. Two of after Sutherland went exactly how I expected, except I thought Sutherland would get it done in the first round. You know what? The card was okay. It got better as it went on. Overall, I'd give it five, no, six or 7 out of 10. That's not funny anymore. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and goodbye.